The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Winners and losers from the Jets preseason win over the Steelers. Which players boosted their stock the most? Dylan Tereman's going to join us to have that conversation and a whole lot more. It's the Jake Asman Show, live on a Sunday. Let's hit it and get it started.
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Jets, let's go! A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show, presented by PrizePicks. Shout out to all our new subscribers, all our new viewers. Big thank you to everyone who watched our post-game show for the Jets and the Steelers Friday night. Over 16,000 views, so we are all craving Jets football, and hopefully the Jets can play like they did against the Steelers week 1 against the Tennessee Titans down in Nashville. I got some exciting news to share. I was able to restock the Payne hats and Payne t-shirts. Another 25 are on sale now. So we sold over 100. If you want yours, go to jakeasman.com/shop. Payne hats, snapback hats, and t-shirts in the color of your choice, available now. Last night I attended the Badlands event at Gotham Comedy Club in New York City. A bunch of Asmaniacs were there. Everyone's excited for Nashville. Reminder, if you're coming to Jets Titans week 1, RSVP to our Gangrene pre-party at Barstool Nashville. There is no cover if you RSVP through me. It'll be from 4 to 7. Going to be doing a live show at 4 o'clock. Bunch of great guests will join me. We're going to be hanging out with all the Jet fans making the trip. And the next morning, for those of you who are looking for a tailgate, GameDayFlightCrew.com. I'm hosting a tailgate with Game Day Flight Crew. Barbecue, drink package, tailgate games, live DJ, and more. Code Jake10 at checkout to save $10 off your tailgate ticket. So we are on to Nashville for week 1 of the Jet season. Right now, we say hello to the host of the Dylan Tereman Experience. His name, Dylan Tereman. DT, happy Sunday. Second straight week you hop on the show on a Sunday to recap a Jet preseason game that certainly gave us a ton to talk about.
Yeah, 100% did. Good morning to you. Good morning to all of the great Asmaniacs in the chat. A little less pain in this one than there was in the Tampa Bay game. So a lot more positives to break down. And I think a handful of guys who boosted their stocks.
Handful of guys, including QB1, Geno Smith, right down the field on the opening drive. Let's start there because I've rewatched the drive now a couple times since Friday night. What did you think, watching it back, what you saw from Geno in the starting offense?
I thought it looked crisp from a passing perspective. The run game needs a lot of work. Obviously, with no Breece Hall in there, it looks not fully complete like what it's going to look like in the regular season, hopefully. But the quick 2 passes to A.D. Mitchell, that toe drag swag on the sideline on the first pass, hitting him over the middle, that was huge because all we've heard is the chemistry between Geno and A.D. from the spring to the summer, now translating into the preseason. Hit Garrett Wilson on a one of the most ridiculous routes you'll see Garrett Wilson run. It's pure teach tape from a wide receiver perspective, but Geno got out of the pocket to his right, threw the pass to Garrett. And then, the third down to Mason Taylor was great. Did have the completion technically to Dylan Parham. So technically 5 different receivers, but 6 if you count Parham's.
Did you take pride in the fact that a Dylan caught a pass on the Jets?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I always support Dylans in the NFL as long as they spell their name right. Like Dylan Tereman, I have a little bit of an issue with, But Dylan Parham, elite first name, absolutely, and elite hands, as we found out. And then the play action bootleg to the left, you get Geno having two rushers coming at him straight, and he throws it right over their head to Jelani Woods, and Jelani Woods finishing over top of that truck stick on, I think it was number 25 of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, you see on the replay, when Jelani catches it and turns up field, his eyes lit up. Like, he is like, come on, bring me that contact. Bowled him over, got right into the end zone. About as perfect of a drive from a passing perspective as you can get. Now, the run game issues are a little bit to be desired, right, with no Breece Hall, but I thought it was very good and everything you wanted to see out of the starting offense.
In terms of the offensive line specifically, did you notice anything in pass protection? Watching it back, I thought Armand Membu looked tremendous. I know Damian Woody highlighted that as well. Anything stand out with the guys up front in the pass protection?
Yeah, Armand Membu, I mean, might be the best player on our team, and that's no slight at Garrett or anybody else that you have up at the top of your roster rankings, but Armand Membu is just like as solid as they come. There was the DB blitz where they pulled the safety off the C gap off the left side. Maybe in that situation, Fashanu could have peeled off the double team that him and Parham had on the defensive end and tried to get out to that DB type. But Geno did a good job standing in the face of pressure, throwing the ball, taking the hit. It was nice to actually see Geno Smith get hit once. Like, you want to see your starting quarterback take a hit and get back up, right? You don't want to see him get absolutely clobbered, but maybe on that rep specifically, Fashanu could have popped off his block and got to the C gap a little better. But all in all, I felt like pass protection, you take some still screenshots of Geno Smith at the back of his drop getting ready to load up and throw. Those pockets are clean. And I know Frankie V put out the tweet. He's like, that's how you have success as a quarterback in the NFL, and that's a clean pocket. And they gave him and they gave Cade Klubnik at times quite a few clean pockets to throw out of.
You mentioned Frankie V, and I'll tell you what, every once in a while, that guy makes a good point. Every once in a while, he's onto something, but he's spot on here. This is as clean of a pocket as you're going to see for an NFL QB.
Yeah, absolutely. And you still have, I think that's Josh Myers right there, not blocking anybody, and that's what you want. When you have 5 versus 4, you want to take care of your one-on-ones. Membu putting a guy on the turf, that was a kind of the story of the night. And everybody on the left side doing their job, and you like Myers looking for work at this point. Obviously, he might go over and, hit the guy that Tippmann is blocking, but if
he's like Charles Gorman looking for work.
I wouldn't go that far. Charles Gorman would be on the opposite hash, looking to the sideline, probably looking at his next meal in that situation. But this is perfect. If Geno Smith can get this type of pocket, 20, 30, 35% of his dropbacks this year, this is fantastic from a passing perspective.
It's so weird. At least I had this issue watching Geno in the first drive, like seeing a number 7 quarterback complete the forward pass. Like, I had Fields PSD until like Geno started cooking a little bit on that drive. Like, it still reminded me of Fields. I had to get used to Geno being number 7 again, slinging it for the Jets.
Yeah, the first pass, it did give me those vibes like, oh no, here's number 7 dropping back to pass, but he put that zip on it to the left side to AD Mitchell, and I was like, okay, that's not Justin Fields. He has a ton more zip on his arm. The ball always comes out with like a relatively clean spiral, whereas Justin Fields, I felt like even on his better passes, the spiral was not there. So the crispness of Geno Smith's arm was on display there.
Let's talk about some other elements of that opening drive with the offensive players. Would you say AD Mitchell is one of the winners from what we saw in this game Friday night?
Yeah, I think he's been like one of the biggest winners throughout the entire off season, right? Him or maybe Isaiah Williams. And Isaiah Williams probably took a step back this past game, but AD Mitchell, man, I don't want to say he's the 1B to Garrett Wilson quite yet, but we're trending in that direction where it's not just like Garrett's the 1, AD's the 2. There's going to be games where Geno Smith sees one-on-one coverage to AD's side, throws it up and gives him a chance. And I like this chemistry building already. So AD has to be one of the biggest winners on offense.
I think he's a legit player for this team this year, Dylan. I'm buying into the AD Mitchell hype. I just think he needs an opportunity. He's got the opportunity clearly with the Jets. He could run a bunch of different routes on the route tree, including the go ball, which Gino, I believe, could get him the football. I'm excited about AD.
Yeah, and the cool thing about AD being able to take the top off as a vertical threat is with his route running ability, one, he gets off the line very well. Like Christian Gonzalez, I believe, made a comment in the offseason about how well AD Mitchell's release package is at the line of scrimmage. So you win at the line of scrimmage, you win vertically in your stem, you get that DB on his heels a little bit. Next thing you know, he's putting his feet in the dirt, turning around and getting a comeback route like we saw on that first play. And that's going to open up the route tree even more for him. So the sky is the limit for AD Mitchell. And obviously we just need consistency. I think that's probably been the biggest issue for him, whether it was with Indianapolis for a year and a half or last year for the half season with us. But sky's the limit. Stock is straight up for AD Mitchell for sure.
How about another winner, Mason Taylor? Nothing too crazy, but he continues to be a nice check down blanket for whoever the quarterback is. Last week it was Klubnik a couple times. On Friday night on a key third down, 3rd and 6, I believe it was. Here's Geno Smith finding Mason Taylor to move the chains.
Yeah, I thought Mason Taylor's, he's consistent. He has strong hands. I know he had a couple of drops last year that people highlighted and tried to knock him for his rookie performance. But I thought all in all, Mason Taylor, he's closer to tight end 1 than I was giving credit for once they drafted Kenyon Sadiq in the first round. But until we see Kenyon Sadiq, it's hard to fully know for sure. But Mason Taylor is making it hard for them to take him off the field. Going back to last week against the Bucs, there was that play, and Connor Rogers did a great job in his film room on Badlands highlighting this. I wanted to see him get off that linebacker and get open into space for Cade Klubnik on that rollout in the red zone. But everything that he did on Friday against the Steelers, that out route, that I think it was a 3rd and 9 conversion, that was great. He kind of gave him a little shake at the top of his route, cut out to the sidelines, strong hands, finishing for a first down. So I thought the 3rd down conversions were really a positive thing for the Jets team, and Mason Taylor is going to be all over that. You get to like a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 6 type of situation, Mason Taylor sitting right over the ball. If Geno Smith had that pocket that you posted, that screenshot, and Mason Taylor's right in front of him, like instead of that being Braylon Allen, if that's Mason Taylor on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, that's a first down 90% of the time, in my opinion. So I really like Mason Taylor. Maybe I was a little bit less bullish on him when they drafted Kenyon Sadiq, but this is going to be a 2 tight end offense for sure. And I think Frank Reich's going to get the most out of these guys.
And look, Mason Taylor's a guy that has actually been out there practicing all summer, unlike Sadiq, who could be a little behind at the beginning of the year. By the way, you're right. It was a 3rd and 9, so it's even more impressive here. Joe Caparoso has the GIF, so I'll zoom in, and hopefully YouTube is fine with me doing this here. But I just like seeing Geno with confidence, stay in that pocket, go through a progression or two, and then just letting it rip with velocity to an open Mason Taylor who ran his route in front of the sticks, which is what we want, because how many times have we seen guys run their route short of the sticks and not be able to get the first down here? But this is exactly what you want to see from your check down valve on a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, and if you pause it, like right as Mason makes the catch, if you're able to pause the GIF here, right there. Okay, maybe go like a half second. Right there. Look at Omar Cooper Jr. He's in the slot, running away from his defender. So, yes, it's 3rd down. Geno Smith wanted to convert the first down, but Omar Cooper Jr. had a touchdown. If this is like a 1st or 2nd down situation, and it's not a gotta have the first down, get to the sticks, and move the chains, Omar Cooper is probably scoring a touchdown on this drive. So not only Mason Taylor on this play, but also Omar Cooper Jr. And then look at the separation AD has at the bottom of the screen as well on his little hitch or stop route there. So a lot of guys running open in this offense. And I don't know if all of the starting DBs were out there for the Steelers, but a majority of their starters were in, and they didn't do a good enough job where Mike McCarthy put them back in against Cade Klubnik and the 2s. So you like our first team offense being able to take advantage of a team that has majority of their starters in.
Dylan Tereman is my guest. If you're watching live, it's a raffle Sunday, baby. Here's what we're going to do today. For all the great ass maniacs out there, we're raffling away 3 signed Jet items, including a signed Chad Pennington helmet. It is a full-sized helmet. This is your last show. You could enter to win. You could gift a membership, or you could send in a super chat that qualifies. A Venmo or Zelle will also get you in the raffle. All raffle tickets today are $5, so $5 super chats will count to get you in the raffle. You can win the Pennington full-size helmet, a Darrelle Revis signed football, and a Ken O'Brien signed helmet. Plus, for anyone who does enter, this is just for the people watching live, David Bailey jersey up for grabs in a separate raffle at the end of the show. If you don't want Bailey, pick the Jet player of your choosing between Cade Klubnik, Omar Cooper Jr., Kenyon Sadiq, Armand Membu, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Geno Smith, Demario Davis, or a Jet legend. You pick who you want. But that is what is up for grabs across our show this morning. So make sure you guys enter for your chance to win. We've talked some winners. We'll get to more winners. We'll get to some losers as well. But a few super chats I want to hit, and then we'll continue to pick the brain of Dylan Tereman here on a Sunday morning. Cashmere Black with a super chat. Would you guys be shocked that Bailey is Defensive Rookie of the Year? I will say this. I will not be shocked because, 1, he's the number 2 pick. 2, he plays a premium position where if he does flash, you're going to notice him because sacks are something that national folks who vote on the award are clearly going to look at. And 3, I actually think the Jets defense should present some real advantageous scenarios for Bailey to rush the passer and get those stats.
Yeah, I mean, being the second overall pick, your odds of winning it are generally good out the gates. And I'm not saying the class in 2026 was, lesser in talent than we have seen in years, but it does seem like the competition against David Bailey does work in his favor as well. Obviously, you guys got guys like Reuben Bain who are probably going to be in contention, maybe Arvell Reese. Would it shock me? No. He's the highest drafted defensive player in franchise history. And we saw what happened when they had the 4th overall pick. They took a cornerback. He won All-Pro and Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm not saying it's my expectation that he wins it, but he's got to be in contention with the votes. And I do think, like you said, advantageous situations, neutral game scripts, potentially Jets with a lead. Like we saw them come out and score a touchdown on their opening drive. I want to see that this year way more. Take the ball on the opening kickoff. Hopefully you score some points. And even if it's 3-0 or 7-0, like you have a situation where you can rush the passer to a better efficiency with David Bailey. So it's not my expectation that he wins it, but top 3, top 5 in voting, I think that should be the expectation.
Robert wants to know, who's our starter, Nashawn or Azarie? I think AZ Thomas starts at corner next to Brandon Stevens.
Yeah, it's got to be AZ at this point. Nashawn is injured currently too, so we haven't seen him at all in the preseason. So he's a little bit behind the 8 ball there. Azarie Thomas, I think he does a very, very good job. He has some good man coverage reps. He got beat on a deep dig. I believe it was a 3rd and 8 where they actually dropped David Bailey into coverage on that one. So he's not a perfect cornerback, AZ Thomas, but he's definitely the cornerback 2 as of right now behind Brandon Stevens.
Hit the like button if you're just joining us. Dylan Tereman is our guest. Adam is too cool with the super chat, says Omar Cooper was quietly solid with the ones. Few. Well, here's the thing. Omar Cooper was with the ones. I like that. So yep. I think when they start against the Titans, the 11 personnel wide receivers, it's going to be Garrett, AD, and I do think it's going to be Omar Cooper.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the expectation. And if it doesn't happen week 1 in Tennessee, maybe by week 4, week 5, what is that, the Bears and Browns game? Like, I think he'll fully be the guy in 11 personnel. It didn't necessarily help that Isaiah Williams fumbled the ball. They didn't lose the fumble. I believe Arian Smith jumped on it. But it is trending in the right way for Omar Cooper Jr. They didn't give him a ton of time with the 2s or the 3s like they did in week 1. So I think the underdog football guys that run the fantasy accounts can pump the brakes a little bit. And I shouted out Scott Mason of Play Like a Jet. Omar Cooper has more targets and catches combined through 2 preseason games than Carnell Tate, obviously an injured Jordan Tyson, and Mekhi Lemon have combined. So for all of the negativity around Omar Cooper Jr., I think it's got to stop.
Dylan Tereman's my guest. If you guys have questions, write them in. Make sure you also call into the show. We'll do some calls as well. Hey, DT, I'll give you another winner. I mean, Nate Lynn. Do we buy Nate Lynn's greatness? It just joins the Jets this past week, shows up and casually has 2 sacks. He certainly made my list of winners.
Yeah, I don't know if I can go as far as to put him on the 53-man roster prediction that I'll be doing shortly on my channel, but being signed 4 days ago, he did a phenomenal job. 4 pressures, 2 sacks. One of his pressures forced another sack from Chase Wilson up the B gap or up the A gap. Came in untouched. Nate Lynn forced Drew Aller up and to the left in the pocket. And Chase Wilson and even Jaden Keller, the other UDFA linebacker, were there to clean it up for the sack. I liked everything I saw. You kind of get the Tack McKinley vibes from Nate Lynn there, but he was one of 3 players actually signed during the week that played in that game that I thought deserved somewhat of a shout out. He deserves the biggest one, but also Junior Burgin, the return man / running back that they had out there. He had a handful, almost 100 all-purpose yards. And then Keenan Garber, the cornerback, he was wearing number 45, which anytime I see a Jets player wearing 45, my brain automatically goes back to Rontez Miles. But Keenan Garber had some good plays too. He had a nice pass breakup, and then he was in on the tackle on that screen play that they ran to the left side. So all 3 of those guys coming in off the couch essentially and having dominant performances, specifically Nate Lynn, it's stock up for those players, but it's also stock up for the coaching staff being able to get them acclimated, ready for game reps so quickly. So all around a good look when you have new guys come in and immediately pop.
Dylan Tereman, my guest. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. I want to give some love to a super chat we received from Snowball Jets Worldwide. He's the first to enter the Asmaniac raffle with this super chat. Thank you very much, Mr. Snowball.
Yeah.
I want to see more of Junior Bergen at returner / receiver. He looks promising. Thanks, Jake. Horns up, Dylan. Well, here's the thing. Arian Smith gives you absolutely nothing. So seeing like a guy like Junior Bergen just show up and immediately have a bigger impact than a guy who was a 4th-round pick last year should tell you all you need to know about a guy like Arian Smith.
Yeah, 100%. And I was wrong. I said depth running back. He wears number 30, so it is a little confusing during the preseason, but he is a wide receiver. Good call out there. Jets Worldwide. And then another guy that, we'll go right into another winner at the same position that's also, jockeying for a spot with Arian Smith, Malik McClain, dude. Malik McClain, he does everything you could ask for from a UDFA. He hustles his ass off. He was sprinting after the pick 6 last week against Tampa Bay, almost made the tackle inside the 5. He is a very strong and willing blocker on the perimeter, right? That Tim Patrick bubble screen that went for a first down. All the things Malik McClain does, he does well. He had a really nice deep out route, a deep stop route that got them into the field goal range at the end of the half situation. So for all the love that we're giving Burgeon and Malik McClain, it does, make you worry about Arian Smith, who was a draft pick.
If you're going to do winners and losers, I mean, a loser is Arian Smith. Come on. I mean, what are we talking about here with Arian Smith at this point? Did he have a catch on Friday? No. Did he have a target on Friday? No. You check the box score, you wouldn't even know he played. He had 1 kickoff return. That's the only time you can find Arian Smith's name mentioned in the box score.
Yeah, and I believe he got the fumble recovery. It might have been an offensive lineman that was credited for the fumble recovery when Isaiah Williams was stripped, but it's tough right now for Arian Smith. Like, he can't crack a spot at the wide receiver position. He's not cracking a spot on special teams. Like, are you going to keep him as just a gunner type and allow him to use his speed to get down the field and pin them deep on a punt? It's like you can find somebody else to do that job.
Another loser here. David Onyemata. Dylan, I'll let you handle this one.
Hey, man, I want to see some more film breakdowns from the starting defense, whether it's, the Jets X Factor guys or the Badlands guys. But every time that they were running the ball early with Will Howard in the game, David Onyemata was getting knocked off the ball about 3 to 4 yards. There was one situation where it felt like he was, trying to get upfield in like a pass rush situation where the Steelers ended up running it. But I was definitely concerned about number 93. Didn't look like a 10-year vet out there, going up against majority of the time backups for the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line. So yeah, David Onyemata, I don't know if they're going to prioritize him over Juwan Briggs. I certainly hope they don't prioritize him over a healthy Tavondre Sweat, but it was a little bit concerning considering he's one of the oldest players, got a huge guaranteed contract. I think it was like 8.8 million out of his 10 were guaranteed. So like this is a guy that they were planning on having a big role for, and I didn't like what I saw. And I was told in some of my comments on Twitter for this specific tweet to pump the brakes. It's just preseason. We can't throw out, years of good tape with David O. But
this was 33 though.
This was supposed to be the year where he gets back with the coach that he liked in Aaron Glenn and, finishes a strong career. And it did not look like the best version of him out there on Friday night against the Steelers. So I'm not going to, knock him off my 53-man roster, but I would definitely prioritize guys like Briggs, Sweat, and Phillips, who made some good run plays ahead of David O.
Yeah, my guy, friend of the show, Harrison Phillips, big tackle for a loss. Love seeing that. I love Harrison Phillips. I think he's the man. But I do wonder when they get Sweat back, what that does for like Onyemata's playing time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if it affects it at all. Like, what's their like? Certain guys are like defensive ends versus defensive tackles, but like in this like kind of weird defense that Glenn runs, like could you make a case it's all kind of the same, with the exception of like Will McDonald and David Bailey, who are true like pass rush, go get the quarterback players in the base defense?
Yeah, I guess my biggest concern would be they come out in an odd man front. So 3 defensive line types, 2 stand-up edge rushers, and it's Tavondre Sweat in the middle, Phillips and Onyemata as like your big ends. And then you have, Osai and Bailey on the outside standing up as edge rushers. That would concern me a little bit because I think Juwan Briggs, one, he's like 8-9 years younger than David O. He's got a lot more juice in the pass rush potential, and then his run game is still very good. Like Juwan Briggs is constantly pushing the pocket in the run and the pass. So maybe David O is like the 3rd guy in their view, and I think that he's probably closer to the 4th guy after Briggs, but that would be my concern is in odd man fronts. It's David O over Juwan Briggs, but then even man fronts, you got to hope that it's, Sweat Phillips or Briggs Phillips, and then Bailey and McDonald as your edge rushers in that situation. So David O kind of concerns me.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Dylan Tereman is my guest. Raffle at the end of the show. You could enter to win 4 prizes today, and you're not going to want to miss out on the Ken O'Brien signed helmet, the Revis signed football, and a full-size Chad Pennington helmet. Plus, anyone who enters during this show, you're in the raffle to win a David Bailey jersey or a Jets jersey of your choosing. DT, hit the Chad Pennington.
11 Chadwick Pennington in the Big Apple. Everyone but Eddie Robinson. Oh my.
Yeah.
Jets, 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 Jets. Woo!
Love it. Comments, questions, super chats. We got some more winners and losers to hit, but Tom Roseman's in for one. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate you. Let me give some love to Steve, who sent me a Venmo for $10. He purchased 2 raffle tickets. Steve, I see you. Says, I'm starting to get excited for the season. Let's go, Jets. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
Go Jets! Go Jets!
Appreciate the Venmo, Steve. Ralphie Rocks checking in. He's in for 4. Says, AD Mitchell looking solid. I hated trading Sauce, but that trade may end up being one of the best in Jets history. The fact that AD was a throw-in, the Colts could desperately use AD Mitchell right now. Have you seen the injuries they're dealing with and their depth chart? Like, they get AD Mitchell for nothing. Just get him in addition to 2 first-round picks for a corner. Again, we'll see what Sadiq ends up being, but these are the type of things that give me hope for the Jet future because I really believe in the general manager.
Yeah, every time you see an AD Mitchell highlight type of play, I always go to Twitter, and it's usually Buffalo Jet fan. He's like, AD was a throw-in, and he puts throw-in in quotes because that's essentially how they viewed AD Mitchell. And sometimes the Jets are on the inverse side of this, where they send a player away and he ends up getting better. This might be the Jets, gotcha moment with getting a really star player in AD Mitchell. So, yeah, I wasn't a fan of the trade either, Ralphie, until I saw the compensation we got back, 2 1s and AD Mitchell, and then you start to feel a lot better about that. And then AD pops off, and it's like, wow, okay, so now we have a really high second round pick in AD, plus the 2 first round picks from the Colts. So everything is lining up well for the Jets to have come out the victor in this trade.
Dylan Tereman's my guest. We're talking all things New York Jets, winners and losers from the Jets and the Steelers Friday night. Sean in St. Augustine with a super chat. He's in for 2. Says, speaking of sweat, put me in for a chance to win the Stream Worn Beast t-shirt. See y'all in Nashville. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean just made up a prize that we apparently have today. A game-worn Beast Breaker t-shirt. Yeah.
Gone.
Sean, can't wait to see you in Nashville. Carmelo Anthony's watching the show. He's been a channel member for 12 months. Thank you, Mello. Let's go, Knicks. Tim J gifted a channel membership. Thank you very much to our guy, Tim.
Shut up. Let's go.
That's right. That's right. Dylan, let me give you another guy that I penciled in here when I was kind of going through the game during my rewatch. I think the kicking competition is done. I think Cade York, we'll see you later. I think this is now Jason Sanders' job. So winner, Sanders, loser, Cade York. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. And I was on that, weeks ago. I genuinely thought Jason Sanders, who has the better NFL career, if he is fully recovered and healthy from that hip injury, which it seems like he is, he should get every opportunity to be the week 1 starting kicker. Cade York had that weird did it go in, did it not go in situation against the Bucs. They gave him a second opportunity. This one was a lot further back. I think it was 59 yards. Missed it. It was kind of close, but again, not really. I don't see a situation where Cade York is the week 1 starter, and I'm not actually too worried about the Jets letting go of the wrong kicker and that person going on to have a really good season for a new team. So yeah, I think Jason Sanders got to be the kicker. He has looked cleaner. I believe he's on kickoff team and does a better job there as well than Cade York does. So I'm all with you there on Sanders over York.
Also, loser for me, anyone who plays offensive line that's not one of the 5 starters. God, I think our second team and third team offensive line is total ass.
Yeah, and to make matters worse, Chuks Okorafor, I believe, got an injury, and he's probably your 6th best offensive lineman. So the onus is going to be on Darren Muji the next 2 weeks. Get with the scouting department or the pro personnel department. Find one of those guys who's on a roster bubble somewhere else in the league. You might have to flip a day 3 pick. I think we currently own 3 6th-rounders. So you have a lot of ammo to work with to get a guy in the building, but you got to feel confident about the 6th, maybe even the 7th man on that offensive line group going into the season. And right now you don't feel good about any single one of them, especially with the Okorafor injury.
This is from Joe Blowett, who will join us this week for the film review segment. Here's a little preview. Watch our backup offensive line just get completely lit up and blown off the ball. Watch it again. Watch on the left side. Watch Mitchell. Watch Warren or Newman, I believe. Just nowhere.
Yeah, and Newman had at least one low snap to Cade Klubnik that I remember seeing. Not a good look. Max Mitchell and Xavier Newman specifically on this play. Inez Cooper got time with the 2s. He was upgraded from the 3s. He got beat badly there in the run game, and then he was just getting beaten like a drum in pass protection. And unfortunately for him, they lined him up against Nate Herbig on the first pass protection rep, which is a great, look from the Steelers defense. But he got abused so fast on that first pass pro opportunity, and then he was struggling that entire second drive, like surviving in pass pro, like barely getting his job done. He overextended a lot too. So a lot to, be left to be desired with that second offensive line room. And I get it. You can look around the room or around the NFL and say offensive line backups, there's a huge talent drop off, but it should not be this substantial like it is with the Jets.
Yeah, I get it. Every team is like, looking for linemen and their backups probably aren't great. I don't know. My feeling is that the Jets' backup offensive lineman's worse than a lot of other teams.
Yeah, without doing the research and just assuming, I would say that they're comfortably a bottom tier offensive line backup unit, which, the starters are very good. We all know that, but one injury, whether it's Josh Myers or, Parham or Tippmann even, like It doesn't have to be a Membu or a Fashanu. Like one of those interior guys goes down, you're going to see a significant drop off, and it's going to be a liability for the offense.
Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat from Dominic D'Angelo. What aspects would it take for us this year to consider Glenn a good coach? Well, winning is the biggest thing, right? The defense being dramatically better. He's going to have his fingerprints all over it. How does he handle in-game decisions with clock management, timeouts? Are there any games where we're specifically pointing to his decision-making as why they lost, like we could for a plethora of them last year? I think it's also, how they start the season. Like, are you winning games when it actually matters and not when you're 0-7 beating backup quarterbacks? Like, I just think you'll know. Like, it's one of those things where, like, the eye test will tell us everything we need to know, and then obviously the win-loss record will matter a boatload as well.
Yeah, getting off to a hot start is probably the number one thing on my list. There was a little bit of time management at the end of that first half that I took exception with. They had a stopped clock on second down, 39 seconds left on the clock, and they had to burn a timeout. And then Cade Klubnik gets sacked on the ensuing play. They then have to hurry up on a 3rd and 16. They get some of the yardage back with Malik McClain, but they had to save that final timeout for the field goal scenario at the end of half. Going back, talking to a couple people about it, it seemed like the play clock was winding down and they didn't want to take a delay of game in that situation. So AG wisely takes the timeout, but it's little things like that. Maybe you blame the rookie quarterback and Cade Klubnik not having time awareness in that moment, but those little things need to be improved. And then, like you said, the eye test, which they passed the eye test, in my opinion, for the most part, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2 interceptions, and they were all over the football, open field tackling, not allowing a ton of explosive plays. I think that one deep pass on the McGregor pressure on Drew Aller where he threw it up to McCray, that was their biggest pass, 30-something yards in the whole game. So they only had one explosive play allowed, and it felt like there could have been opportunities for more, especially in the run game. So eye test is looking better, but yeah, you have to see all that transfer over and winning immediately, starting hot or starting 500, right? Like you talked about it, the soft 7-10. I feel like almost any scenario is like a soft 7-10, because even if you start 3-3 and you finish 3-3, you have a period in that middle of the season where you're 0-4. So like you have to maintain like a 500 record, maybe 7-7, 6-6 going into that week 13 bye week. Like it just has to look so much different than it did at the start in September and October of last year. 1-7, 0-3 is probably not going to get it done. And I feel like Woody Johnson's already going to be, trying to, pacing around his office, wondering what he could do to shake things up in the organization. So that's going to be the big key things for me, starting hot, time management, and then the eye test as well.
Dylan Tereman's my guest. We're presented by PrizePicks. Since we're talking interceptions, the Jets had 2 of them by their defense Friday night. Let's take a look at Minkah Fitzpatrick's season interception prop. Would you go more or less on 1.5 for number 29 of the Jets with his interception number there, Dylan?
I'm going to go more, but I feel slightly less confident in saying more than I did a couple weeks ago, just based on how they use Minkah Fitzpatrick. I want him as the single high, free safety type, allow a Dane Belton to be closer to the line of scrimmage. That doesn't seem to be how they're going to deploy Minkah Fitzpatrick. It seems like they're going to let him do some slot responsibilities, some box responsibilities, as well as some single high or 2 high in certain situations as well. I'll still go over, but I'm a little less confident just based on how they're using him so far in preseason that he's going to blow it out of the water with a ton of interceptions. But I think 2 is reasonable for a guy like Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Make your Jet Prize Pick future lineups. Get them in before the season. Code HMA when you sign up. Play your first $5. Get $150 in lineups if you win. Let's talk about the safety room. We saw Dane Belton get the start over Andre Cisco. Belton had a nice play in run stuffing with the starters, if I recall. I think he had a nice play on special teams as well, if I remember. Mm-hmm. And Andre Cisco came up with an interception. He was the first Jet to have an interception since the preseason last year against the Eagles. So it certainly had been a while. Your thoughts on the current situation at safety, Dylan?
Yeah, I would actually consider all three of those guys winners. Minka Fitzpatrick is doing his job, regardless of whether it's high or low, close to the line of scrimmage or far away. Dane Belton just continues to make plays, both on defense and special teams. Had a great backside run stuff, and then had the incredible special teams tackle. I believe it was the first kickoff return opportunity where they have a speedy guy in Caden Wetjen back there at returner, and they bottled him up pretty well. Mostly led by Dane Belton. And then, yeah, Cisco has to be considered a winner or a boosted stock player for the interception. Obviously, he was playing with, well into the third quarter of that game. But I would say all three of those are winners in some capacity.
Starting D for the Jets: Bailey, Anabari, Phillips, Onyemata, Davis, Sherwood, Thomas, Stevens, Brownlee, Belton, Fitzpatrick. I think that's their starting 11 against the Titans.
Yeah, maybe Tavondre Sweat is swapped
yeah,
in,
you're right. If
maybe,
Sweat's healthy.
But that's about what it should be.
Hopefully Sweat gets a lot of practice reps this week. I don't think he's going to play against the Giants. I don't think we see any of the starters against the Giants on Friday.
No, the third preseason game has now been looked at just like the fourth was a couple years ago. So like a bunch of backups, guys that are auditioning to make the 53 here, but also someone else's 53 across the league. And Aaron Glenn kind of alluded to that. I forget what player specifically he was talking about at the podium, but they want to get these guys as much film on display as they can, because you could do the Brandon Codrington thing and trade a guy that somebody else doesn't want to wait to clear waivers or have to fight for on waivers. So I do think that there's I don't know. I feel like there's not going to be a ton to, take from the game 3, other than maybe some rookies that are day 3 picks like Inez Cooper, Daryl Jackson. I hope we see Cade Klubnik to a degree. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of guys that aren't going to be here long term, or are at best going to be practice squad guys.
You brought up Klubnik. We haven't spent a ton of time really talking about him, other than mentioning the offensive line he dealt with was not very good. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see more of him as well, just so he gets some reps. I get it. Oh, it's risky. What if he gets hurt? I understand, but it's football. I got to get him more opportunities. Your thoughts on Klubnik potentially playing in that final game next week against the Giants, and his status as the backup?
Yeah, I would give him the Bucks game script, right? Two series, probably all with backup offensive linemen. That's completely fine. I thought he had a really positive day. I know the stats don't necessarily light up, and he didn't have like a ton of highlight throws, but and maybe just a little bit of copium from a Jets fan who's just starving to see decent quarterback play. But his anticipatory throws, the one where Inez Cooper allowed the pressure right in his face from Nate Herbig, that one that was incomplete to Isaiah Williams on the sideline, that was great anticipation. The one to Malik McClain on the deep out route for about 15 yards, that was good anticipation, threw it well before McClain got out of his break. You saw him able to use his legs and pick up a 16-yard run on 3rd and 2 and get a first down. Comes up chirping at Peyton Wilson because he got a handful of his face mask. So all things that I think a rookie 4th-round quarterback should do, Cade has been doing. He's not, exceeding expectations to the point where he should be the week 1 starter by any means, but I think it's been a very solid performance for him through 2 games.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Robert writes in, predict Jets versus Titans game, please. Well, my official prediction, you'll get the week of the game and at our party at Barstool, Nashville, the day before the game, baby. But I will say this, I'm not coming to Nashville to watch the Jets lose, Dylan. I'm flying down to Nashville with thousands of Jet fans sitting in section 110 to watch the New York Jets beat Robert Saleh and start the year 1-0.
Yeah, that should be everybody's hope and expectation. I think there's a lot of ways, and I'll get into the matchup a little bit deeper probably once we know the initial 53. I don't want to call it the final 53, but there's a lot of areas where the Jets match up well against this Titans team, specifically in the trenches. I think that they can cover enough to be a safe defensive secondary against this kind of good wide receiver core. I mean, Carnell Tate is a very good player. Wan'Dale Robinson. They also have an older Calvin Ridley type, but I think that from an offensive perspective, this team should be able to put points up on the board against Saleh and that defense. We know a lot of those defensive guys and their tendencies. They know some of our guys and our tendencies, but the way Geno Smith performed with the starting unit against the Steelers, I should expect to see more of that against the Titans for sure.
RSVP, if you're coming to the Gangrene pre-party, get your tickets for the tailgate the next day. I could share with you guys that Brandon Tierney is going to be hanging out with us at the Barstool pre-event. Samini's dropping by, I'm told. Nick Faria is dropping by. Joe Caparoso, Will Parkinson, Paul Kilgallen from Badlands are dropping by. So this is going to be the place to be for the tailgate. And, of course, the day before the Gangrene pre-party at Barstool Nashville, baby. You can hear a lot of promotion leading up to this one. We got Fanatics involved as well. We're going to be giving away some prizes, including a Darrelle Revis New York Jets / New York Titans throwback jersey in honor of the Week 1 matchup. So some big things to be announced in the coming days ahead of our Week 1 party down in Nashville. Sean Bennett, good to see you in the chat. He became a channel member. He's in the raffle today for one.
Shut up. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. Ozzy gifting a membership. He's in the raffle for one. He's playing to win one of our 4 prizes today.
Hello. You play to win the game.
Damn right. And for those of you just tuning in, this is the only show you can enter for our final day to qualify for a full-size Chad Pennington helmet, a Darrelle Revis signed football, Ken O'Brien signed helmet, and anyone who enters, your chance to win a Bailey jersey like the one behind me or a different Jet player of your choosing. This one is from David Aaron, who says, Jake and DT, with defensive end Lynn's success, can Muji trade an extra edge for an interior offensive lineman who needs pass rush and has a good offensive line? ?
Well, the Atlanta Falcons need a pass rusher, right? They have the injury to Jalen Walker, and then they have the suspension of James Pierce Jr. I have no idea what their interior offensive line looks like. I would say that I'm not a fan of trading one of their extra edge rushers, because the second you trade one of those edge rushers, you're probably going to get an injury to another player at that same position. And then all of a sudden we're going to be like, oh no, now we're thin at edge rusher. So I would actually keep all the edge rushers that we have. And Egbare looked really good. And I think that there is going to be a very big role for him as well as Osai when he gets back. And I just don't think you can rely on David Bailey and Will McDonald and potentially Nate Lynn as like the guys to hold down the fort for the entire season. So I think they got to get creative and probably trade away a day 3 pick for an offensive lineman instead. But I can't rule it out because they are pretty deep at the position.
Veteran Jet fan wrote in, Nate Lynn is the reverse Bailey when it comes to gear. He had 2 long sleeves, bicep equipment, elbow pads, and gloves.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like a result of being on the couch for so long. Like your body's just a little stiff and you're going to get banged up in that game. But isn't it weird how like people were quote tweeting the David Bailey sack and they're like, this is the most aura-less defensive end in NFL history. Like, who cares what his gear looks like? Does he get to the quarterback? Does he do it efficiently? Is he better against the run than he is a liability against the run? And all those things matter more than not having gloves or arm sleeves or wristbands and things like that. So it was funny to see, though.
And also, like, you watch David Bailey, he gets to the quarterback, pops right up, no funny dance, no celebration. Yeah. It's like he expects to just maul quarterbacks. I love seeing that. Small little thing, but I noticed it, and I thought it was very cool.
Yeah, Harrison Phillips was even asked about it. I think it was yesterday the players spoke to the media, and they asked him about David Bailey's sack, and somebody was like, did you see it? And Harrison was like, yeah, I was occupying the center and the guard on that play. Of course I saw his sack. He was like, we do need to work a little bit on his celebration, though. So that'll come in time. I'm sure he'll find a signature celebration to do. Like, remember JJ had the hammer that he would slam down. So like things like that will be a work in progress, but it looked like he had been there before. He had gotten to a quarterback before in his career, and he looks like he's just going to be the guy for the Jets.
He is a dude, and I am very excited to watch him when the games actually count. We've been talking about Nate Lynn, certainly a winner considering none of us knew who he was besides Dom C before the game on Friday. This was Nate Lynn, courtesy of Joe Blewett's film breakdown that he posted, just totally doing his thing, using some real speed on the right side with a quick move there to get past the tackle and grab the sack. Watch it again here. 92. Vintage Sean Ellis out there for the New York Jets, rushing the QB.
Yeah, I admittedly had to look up on the Hour Lads who 92 was, but in my defense, he was signed just this week, so I didn't know what number they assigned to him. But yeah, Tack McKinley vibes with the dreads and the high energy, getting to the quarterback a bunch of times. I'm looking at the opposite side of the offensive line for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 77, Broderick Jones, getting beaten like a drum. He loses, in my opinion, he loses this rep to Nathan Voorhees, a UDFA. And I'm not, slighting Nathan Voorhees or anything like that, but if you watched number 69 throughout the preseason, he's not gaining any ground on the pocket much at all. So to get one against Broderick Jones, who Jets fans are well aware of all of the storylines about Broderick Jones and the New York Jets and everything about that a couple of years ago, it was a bad day for Broderick when you make Nathan Voorhees look pretty good as a pass rusher.
This is the second sack I'm showing, by the way. We showed you the first sack. Here is, again, the second sack, a little spin move, a little dip. Sack number 2, a little spin move in him from Nate Lynn here, beating the right tackle, which, again, that's Broderick Jones.
Yep.
He stinks.
Yeah. And it looked like Broderick Jones might have overset a little bit there, like boom, right there. He's out a little too wide, allows that counter spin move inside. And when you got a high motor guy who is eager to make a name for himself, just being here for 4 days, you're going to get the best version of Nate Lynn. And I'm not saying Nate Lynn's going to do that every single game against all the competition he goes up against, but a very encouraging start. And the Broderick Jones stuff is just hilarious at this point.
Jojo says, funny, Dom C tweeted about Lynn before the game. Dom is a legend. That tweet was so great. He's like, here's a guy that has a chance to be a real player for the Jets and went through like how he was really good in training camp for the Lions the last 2 years, but suffered injuries. He highlighted him, talked about his experience, his PFF grade being really good, and then he has 2 sacks in his Jet debut. So, we're doing winners and losers in this show. Dom C, gigantic winner for giving us the Nate Lynn, breakdown before he broke out in that game.
Yeah, Dom C is always a winner when it comes to finding those like under the radar prospects. And it's important to note, like you said, he came from Detroit the last couple of years, battled injuries, but who got to see him up close and personal when he was healthy? Aaron Glenn with the Detroit Lions. So there is a little bit of familiarity there. He understood what his strengths and possibly his limitations were enough to bring him on to the team. And if he makes the 53-man roster, it's just a great story. But yeah, Dom C is fantastic with all of that. The second I saw Nate Lynn get in there on a pressure, I found that Dom C tweet and quote tweeted it immediately. And I was like, there he is, Nate Lynn making a play. And then I followed it up with 3 additional tweets because he just kept making plays. So Dom C, biggest winner in the Jets content space this week.
Dom C, the man, the myth, the legend, a man who appreciates some donuts as well when you're hanging out in Mobile, Alabama, and you need some snacks in between Senior Bowl practices.
I forgot about the donuts. Yep, absolutely. Dom C, man, he's a great guy. I can't say enough good things about Dom.
Call-in link is pinned. Raffle at the end of the show. We're talking all things Jets. Dylan, anything else in your notes stand out, a winner or a loser, or anything you wrote down before we hit some calls?
Yeah, one winner. And again, it's going to be kind of difficult to find a spot for him on the 53. You might have to go light at a different position to make it work because I feel like the depth at his position is already good. Yeah, shout out, Dom. What's up, man? Appreciate
I even know Dom's in the chat. Shout out to you, Dom.
Oh, yeah, Dom's always lurking. And I got to say, Jordan Clark. I understand. We got Jarvis Brownlee. We have D'Angelo Pons, who we haven't seen quite yet, but he's supposed to have a pretty big role. Jordan Clark, man, he's one of those guys that just shows up every day, does his 111th, multiple open field tackles for him. There's the one screen pass to the left side that he just busts through the blocker, gets to the ball carrier, and stops him short of the line of gain. Had another run play. I think it was Caleb Johnson out on the right side where Jordan Clark gets in, makes a nice ankle tackle, and stops him for what could have been an explosive play. Jordan Clark, I would prioritize keeping him on the 53 rather than trying to trade him away even if that means you only keep maybe 5 wide receivers and practice squad a couple of those. Like if you tried to push Malik McClain through to the practice squad, I think you could have success doing that. Jordan Clark is not reverting back to the practice squad based on the way that he's played in August. So I think he's one of the biggest shout outs. And a cool moment. I'm not a huge Ryan Clark guy, but we know he played for the Steelers in his career. He was on the Jets sideline as a father, not as a former Steelers player, showing love to Jordan. And it was cool to see Jordan, have a really good game in the stadium that Ryan Clark, had so much success in.
Jordan Clark's played well. No one could even dispute that at this point. I mean, has he not been better than Malachi Moore? Let's be real.
And they don't play the same position, to be fair, to Malachi
Moore. One guy's
Moore.
a UDFA, though. One guy was a 4th-round pick who had a ton of playing time last year.
100%. But when you look at how they acquired each player, you basically got Jordan Clark for pennies, and you had to spend a 4th-round pick. I believe it was pick 110. I think it was the exact same pick they took Cade Klubnik in. So, that is a high pick at 110 overall, where, by year 2, maybe year 3 at the very latest, you're a high rotational, reliable player for this team, and we're just not seeing it. So I'm interested to see how they do the secondary, because that's Aaron Glenn's strength, or quote unquote strength, obviously being a cornerback, coming from a DB's coach background as well. It's going to be interesting to see how many bodies they keep and where they decide to prioritize that position over another position.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button if you're joining us. You mentioned Jordan Clark. Again, I'm just ripping these from Joe Blewett's X account. We got Joe for the full film review in his weekly Tuesday spot. Here's Jordan Clark, top of the screen, Dylan. Watch him make a play on the ball here. I'll play it a couple times for you to discuss.
Yeah, here's the screen pass I was talking about. I guess it's kind of like a quick slant rather than a screen. But Jordan Clark in the nickel breaks off gets right through the outside shoulder of Jeremy Bernard. I can always tell it's Jeremy Bernard because he wears the Guardian cap. But just boom, triggers, keys in, right downhill. Keenan Garber is the boundary corner on that side. So not going to really say good or bad things about Keenan Garber on this play because it was all Jordan Clark here. But you like to see him take advantage of this, and maybe a better wide receiver out there blocking, and it's a different result. But the instincts, the trigger, getting downhill, wrapping up the ball carrier. This was I think it was a relatively short yardage situation. They were just trying to get to the sticks. Yeah, so he stopped about 1 yard short of the sticks, set up a 3rd down. I think they ran the ball and converted the 1st down anyway, but this is everything you want to see out of a UDFA type.
And here's another play he made in the running game.
Yep, this is the one tackle with Caleb Johnson. Maybe Malachi Moore, or I believe that's Andre Cisco coming over the top at the 45 on the opposite side.
Yep.
One of those guys might have been able to make the play, but the fact that we got the first defender to the ball and made the tackle, how many times did we see that last year fail completely, where it would be somebody getting to the ball carrier, making a really poor attempt at a tackle, and all of a sudden they're gaining 7, 10, 12 more yards on the back end of that. So that limited a potential explosive play for Pittsburgh.
Dylan Tereman's my guest. We'll get to your calls shortly. This is from Ryan McCarthy. He's in the raffle for 2. Thank you, Ryan. I'm feeling encouraged about the season after Friday's win. Also, I had a birthday this past week, and I'm feeling lucky. Hoping to win a Ken O'Brien helmet. Go Jets. Well, you're in for 2, Ryan. Good luck, and happy belated birthday. Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we hit your calls, but first a word from Circa. That's right. I'm headed to Vegas this week. I'm going to try and win some money, and I'm going to be entering the Circa Survivor contest. Circasports.com for all the info on each of these outstanding contests. It's going to be a great week. Live from the Circa Media Row Thursday and Friday. Some great guests. Post-game show following Jets-Giants. Friday night, it's going down, baby. Can't wait to be in Vegas. If you're an Asmaniac in the area or you're making the trip, make sure you message me so we can link up when we're out there. Cannot wait to be at Circa for contest weekend. Again, all the info on each of the contests we've been discussing the last 2 months on the show is available for you at circasports.com.
Jets, 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 woo!
Let's hit some calls before we let Dylan run. And ladies and gentlemen, first up today is a man that we call Kyle.
This one
What's up, fellas? How are you?
Hey, Kyle, you hanging out with
attic
Beast
today?
Yes, I'm in the attic today.
Kyle, I will say I am always going to read your comments in full before I ever put them on my screen again. I saw a question for DT, I clicked on it, and I immediately regretted it. So thank you for that yesterday.
Here's the one thing you want to know about me, DT. I will do whatever it takes to make you break on air.
Yeah, I noticed that. And a lot of people do. A lot of people do because I can't hold my reaction. Like when I see a chat come in, like you see my eyes light up, you see my smile start cracking.
Yeah,
so
that's exactly why.
You know how to get to me for sure.
So I was of the opinion that they might carry 5 wideouts coming into this game anyway. Like with the emergence of Jelani Woods in camp, like it feels like it's going to be 4 tight ends, right?
It's got to be.
Yeah, and I think that Ruckert and the fullback back are kind of competing head to head right now. And you'd have to give Ruckert the edge because they signed him, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, McLean's impressed. Isaiah Williams didn't have a great game, but we kind of feel with his return ability that he's going to be on the team.
Mm-hmm.
You look at, Cooper, and you look at, AD, and of course you look at Garrett. Those guys are cemented. I'm just wondering, Arian Smith in danger. I think Tim Patrick's in danger.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for, I feel like, one guy who can kind of be the 4th receiver, special teams guy, and that's probably Williams at this point. And he's your 4th guy, and then your 5th guy is going to be mostly like a pure special teamer. Maybe that's McLean. I don't know.
I would say right now the safest, or who I would claim as the safest as the wide receiver 5 is either Tim Patrick or Malik McLean.
Yeah.
Whether it's one of the two, I don't think that they'll go and find a wide receiver elsewhere unless one just really surprises and gets cut. But I think we've seen enough out of McLean where it's like, okay, he's a priority practice squad guy. And then Tim Patrick, obviously he was signed late in the process, but it seems like they like him for his role as like a big slot type. So I don't feel comfortable saying definitively who that 5th guy is, but if they only keep 5, I think it's between right now Patrick and McLean.
I saw your tweet on X, and I agree with you. Klubnik's ball placement on that sideline out was very, very impressive under pressure. So, Klubnik has flashed a little bit, and I wasn't crazy about the value because I agreed with Jake. To me, just take him at 103. Like if you have a 4th round grade on the guy and you kind of really like him, just take him at 103. Don't mess around with the trading up, and then just let the value come to you the rest of the draft. But he's shown enough. I mean, he had his issues like the grounding call, and I felt like he should have slid a little bit since he is exclusively QB2 and he was running out there in the open field for 16 yards. But that's going to come with a little bit of experience.
They also probably have not told him he's exclusively QB2 because they want him to compete. So
yeah,
he's gonna just let his natural instincts take over there.
But I mean, as people who have watched the team for some time, the writing is all over the wall. So it's like, I'm just hopeful that, he's going to, I think we've been saying on the show, let's see a lot of him in the preseason. Let's get him that seasoning. And I was saying on Boy Green this morning, I think that there's a real chance he's going to have an extended runway here to get an audition sometime in season. So I appreciate your time, guys.
Kyle, great call. Say hi to Beast for us. Speaking of Beast, should we check in with the man himself before you run, Dylan?
Yeah, I mean, he was in the room with Kyle there. I'm surprised he didn't pop on.
Ladies and gentlemen, back to the attic we go.
Don't think I'm not stupid, son.
Great quote from Beast. Beast just said, quote, "Don't think I'm not stupid."
Damn right. And this, my folks, get your brand new Ultimate T-shirt.
Where's Kyle?
What are you on dope or something?
You might be the way you're talking. What are you doing? What's going on?
Teeth. teeth. And then I'm tired. Very tired. I did not sleep well.
Too much cutting grass? Too much cutting grass for you?
Toss, turn, fart. Life sucks, and then you get old, and then you die. Like, what did Gino do? What did Gino do that game? Nice work. Little slingshot to Woods.
Slingshot.
Yeah, a little slingshot. That was like playing a good old round of blackjack. Going, all right, I'll take 5. Hit. 6. Hit me again. 16. No. Stand. Why do I stand on 16? I wasn't going to pull another card. Because I pulled another card, if it was a king, a queen, an ace, or a jack or a 10, game over.
You would have been fine. You would have been fine with an ace. You would have had 17.
Well, 17's fine, but anything past king, queen, jack, or a 10, you're screwed.
I feel like this is a conversation for Rob and Sable.
Don't get me started with that.
Yeah. What, blackjack? Yeah. Okay, who's the king of the blackjack table? Is it you, Dylan, or is it Jake? Who's the king of the...
Can you hear me?
I'm a head coach!
Ha 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 ha, Tubby.
Good job.
Fuck off, you worthless wanker! Go to another caller. Not today. Not today.
I don't want to be a butthole.
Ha 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 ha, Tubby.
Good job.
Piss off, you fucking loser.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
I was wondering when Nightbot was going to strike again, Dylan.
Hey, I like DJ AG on the 1s and 2s there. That was pretty cool.
Pretty good.
The nuns look a little scared. That was not their scene.
I think you're right. Hey, shout out to Sean in St. Augustine, who's coming to Nashville. When he called in, he told us that the other day. He just became a channel member, so good job to you,
Good
Sean.
job.
You're in the raffle for 1. Swamp Ranger says, put me in for 2, Jake. I'm excited for the possibility of choosing a Tony Adams or Michael Clemens jersey. Swamp Ranger, damn you. You're in for 2.
Are we doing Titans and Colts jersey raffle giveaways on this show?
I guess so. Who wouldn't want a Michael Clemens Colts jersey?
Have you seen Colts fans already complaining about Michael Clemens?
I saw one tweet about like they dropped him in the coverage, and it's like, what are we doing? I'm like, have fun.
Yeah. That's your problem now.
Ozzy Fuller's gifted a membership. He's in the raffle for 1. Thank you, Ozzy. Peg and Artie checking in. Tomorrow is Artie's birthday, and you're raffling something he wants. Artie for the win. Good luck to Artie. Let's go. Hit the Jet chant for Peg and Artie. Veteran Jet fan wrote in, Isaiah Williams and Jelani Woods are the emergency QBs on game day if you carry 2 QBs. I think Isaiah Williams could be the 2026 version of Brad Smith.
Hey, I mean, somebody's got to do it, right? I know we had, obviously, Brad Smith, and we had Jeremy Curley was our emergency quarterback for a couple years there. So, like, it is an important position because if you are going to carry 2 quarterbacks, you could have to go to that emergency quarterback to get you out of a game situation before you can sign or trade for a different guy to come in. So, I think it's a really good point.
I mean, let's see if they got some creativity with a little trick play. Isaiah Williams, former college quarterback, making some plays happen, Brad Smith style.
Yeah, and shout out to Court from Court Sports. She was at training camp, one of the practices, and she tweeted out or posted something about a Breece Hall running back pass in training camp. And if they're getting into the bag of tricks, that's great. We saw Breece throw a touchdown last year to Mason Taylor. It was a little bit sketchy of a pass against the Bengals, but I'm all for the creative plays and the trick plays because that was one of the things with Michael LaFleur whenever they decided to get into like an exotic package, they seemed to do well in it.
An exotic package, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love how
There we
football
go.
turns.
There we go, Jake, with our pre-show talk. That's
taking them
one.
out of you could take any football term and you could find a way to sexualize it, DT.
Yeah. Geno Smith unloads to the end zone with two guys coming in his face. Like that's a football sentence, and it does not sound like football at all.
David Bailey beat the tackle, hit the gap hard, and came up with the sack.
Yeah. And just sack. Like, come on. We
Did
know
you actually say sexual landscaping? Wrong word, Magic Mike.
Good job.
Enough of the bullshit, you little ass hat.
Three tickets remain, by the way, for Beast Feast on October 25th. Lock in your spot. Go to my Patreon, and you could lock in the final couple of tickets to be in section 146. $150 post-game field pass included with that. By the way, you shouted out Court Sports. I see Court is in the chat. Shout out to Court for watching the program. She's become a regular listener ever since we played her interview with Frankie V at Gangrene Beach Club.
Oh yes, the infamous, was he flirting or was he just a little too in the bag? That was a good one. Shout out to Court.
She says halfback pass from Allen to Williams.
Oh, it's Allen, not Brees. Okay, so even better. You're getting a Braylon Allen attempt at a pass there, so that's cool.
Let's see if the Jets have that creativity. This one is from Big Country. He's in the raffle for 2. Big Country says it's that time of year. I'm getting super excited. But I'm well aware we're probably going to be let down, unfortunately. Just got to hope we stay healthy. Let's go, Jets. Dylan has the preseason and now through 2 games increased your hope and excitement for the upcoming season. Has it remained the same, or has it decreased your excitement for the year?
I think just naturally, because we wear 2 hats. We wear the analyst hat, we wear the fan hat. And I feel like you have to know when is the right time to put on which hat. Throughout the month of August, typically I'm wearing my fan hat, so I'm thinking more about the positives as opposed to the negatives. But yeah, this is that ramp up period where it's like you're excited for Jets football. I'm probably being a little bit, too high on some things and not low enough on a couple of things. But yeah, this is the time where we have all the excitement in the world because we don't want to be let down in September. So can we be the offseason and August champions once again?
I am more optimistic, I'd say, so far because of how Bailey looks. But I also think we have to acknowledge some concern with the fact that both Sadiq and Pons have yet to practice.
Yeah, we have 3, I think, rookies injured because you include VJ Payne on that list too. So not great that you don't get to see the full draft class on display. But the ones that are out there playing, I feel like you have to feel pretty positively about at least, Bailey, Cooper, Cade Klubnik, and Inez Cooper we kind of knew his limitations, so it's not too surprising. But him and Darryl Jackson were more developmental picks. But the guys that they drafted to have an immediate role that are healthy and playing seem like they're kind of manning that responsibility well.
Sean Bennett says Bailey and McDonald become a dynamic duo, 23 sacks between them.
Leger Duzable had a tweet and called them the spinning tops, and he set the over-under at 18. I would probably take the over on 18, but I would be hesitant to take the over on 23. But our guy Nick Shine will probably be at 30 sacks combined for them by the time the season comes around. So it's a dynamic duo for sure, and they look like they're working in tandem together on the outside.
David wants to know, what are the odds that any of Payne, Pons, Sadiq start the season on returnable IR? Payne, I have no idea about. I feel like we've heard nothing about his injury.
Yeah, it was a very quick, one sentence from AG. He's going to miss 3 to 4 weeks. I think it was an ankle injury. I don't think he's the one. I think if anybody, it would be D'Angelo Pons that might start on the short-term IR with the ability to return, after 4 games. But you don't want to see that for any of the rookies. Although on the silver lining side of that is it allows somebody to make the roster, at least in the short term, that when you do have to revert that person back for the healthy rookie, it's harder for a team to pick them up and you can get them back on your practice squad a little bit easier. So there's positives and negatives, but I would hope that none of them have to miss an entire month of the season after all the time that they've already missed.
Dylan, would you hang this in your apartment if we sent you it?
I would put it somewhere where the camera couldn't see it, but yeah, I would. And I definitely wouldn't put it in my bedroom because waking up to this would be awfully scary. But like, you put this on the wall in your living room. It's like the focal point when you have guests come over. You're like, look at this beautiful mural I have of Beastbreaker talking about his tooth pain. So yeah, I think this is it's a good work of art.
This is like the Mona Lisa for the Asmaniac community. I think it looks outstanding.
Yeah, it's got some Van Gogh vibes to it with the colorful work. I like it.
Beast, are you interested in one of these? Because this was made by a listener, and I'd be happy to put you guys in touch and send it your way. Dylan, before we let you run, let's try and get an answer from the Beast.
Beast, like Robo Beast.
What do you think, Beast?
This is the bird special. How you gonna like them apples?
You don't think it's a cool photo? Cool painting?
My photos are more elegant with more power and physique. See, this is a laugh. You want to think this is comedy era to you? Well, you better think twice.
Are you saying you have artistic ability, Beast? Is that what you were saying?
No shit.
Oh.
What do you think I look like? What do you think, I'm stupid or something?
What do you think? I'm not stupid?
You better not. Don't think I'm not stupid. Try again.
I don't think you're not stupid, Beast. I don't think you're not stupid.
Beast, I'm working on the shirt, by the way.
No,
we finally
deal.
have the logo.
I don't want nothing to talk about with that sarcastic, overbearing, overbloating, old pile of Pepto-Bismol. Upset stomach, acid, indigestion. Upset stomach, acid, indigestion.
For those wondering what's happening, Beast is currently yelling about Mad Max, who's in the private chat asking to come on the show. Beast, I'm going to send you one of these shirts. I'm going to make them today. We finally have the logo made. I've been focused on the pain line, which sold out. We added another 20 for those.
Pain is my game. I like that.
Oh, yeah. You love to complain about pain.
Tooth pain today.
Yeah, well, not fun. No fun. Wait. Someone once told me, wait till you get older. The fun never ends. No, it doesn't.
The fun never ends when you get older? That sounds great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me get old, man.
It never ends. Why? Because when you get older, here we go. Where's my teeth? Where's my teeth?
Yeah, B, sometimes I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I have an actual call we could end on that will get us back to the Jet convo. Julio is the closer for Dylan. I'll stay on for the rest. Hello, Julio.
Hey, what's up, Jake? How you doing?
What's up, Julio?
Man, enjoying this life. Getting back into this football thing again.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah.
I watched the first preseason game this weekend, and I saw how the Jets beat Pittsburgh. I was a little impressed on it.
It's a lot of
I'm
positives.
very excited. A lot. I like how Gino played, but now I'm getting interested more on Klubnik.
Well, it sounds like he's going to be the backup quarterback, Julio. So we'll see how much
he plays
in the final game, but he's the guy.
Mm-hmm. He's the guy. But out of all the rookies we had in the past few years, he haven't shown the grass. He's been trying to show us that he wants to be there. He wants to be that player. I don't know if y'all have seen that. I heard Jake. I heard you last year how you say about Cook. What is Cook about? Because we didn't know nothing about Cook. And why would they wouldn't play him? Now we're seeing a rookie that we got on the 4th round and actually playing and practicing with the first, because that's what we wanted to see. And how he will handle being in the field. He handled himself pretty good. Not amazing, but pretty good.
Yeah. He's been fine. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to form a strong opinion on his most recent performance for a lot of it because he was under duress for what felt like the vast majority of his dropbacks.
Mm-hmm. But he is going to be much better
And
than
I'm
Brady. We know that for sure already. We don't need to
way
see
better.
a ton more. Yeah, exactly.
No, we way better. As a matter of fact, way better than Zach Wilson. I think he's a little better than Zach Wilson that we've given credit.
Josh Rosen?
Because
no, Zach Wilson, he said.
Oh, I thought you
Zach
said
Wilson.
Zach Rosen.
I was never a big Zach guy, so if Cade Klubnik can be even close to what we thought Zach Wilson was for us, then yes, absolutely.
Because the way I saw him in Clemson one time when he was playing, what was it? Ohio? No, he played somebody. I forgot. But his first 3 years in Clemson wasn't that bad.
Yeah. For Cade, no, it was just last year for him with a lot of the talent drop off, a couple of the injuries. He was taking the elevator up to meeting rooms because he couldn't walk up the stairs because of his injuries. So like he was battling through a lot of stuff last year.
So this year, just in case, we got this injury bug that hit us once in a blue moon. You saw what happened with Aaron Rodgers, And that happened to Geno. We know we can feel a little comfortable with Cade.
Yeah,
can y'all go for that?
Yeah, in like a small sample size, like 2 games, I'm totally down for it. But if Cade has to play 8 games to end the season, I feel like we need to bring somebody else in.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. And another question before I go. Are y'all going to be in Tennessee?
Of course, Julio. I've been talking about it for months already. Where you been?
See, remember, I've been on vacation, so I just got back. I'm getting back into it.
Let's go, Julio. I will be there. I'm doing a huge
event. I'm going to be there.
And a tailgate Sunday. All right? We need you there.
All right.
Spread the word to all the Jet fans. Tell everyone.
I will. I got big things for this year for the Jets. I feel like they can win 7 game or a little more than that. If the way it plays out. We got a good schedule. No prime time. Good schedule. We're not under the lights. Let's get this done.
Hell yeah, Julio.
Love it, Julio. It's funny, though. We got big expectations for the Jets, and he's like 7 wins. I'm like, God is our standard. Pathetic.
It's unfortunate, right? Like the solid 7 probably is like not inspiring to 26 different fan bases across the NFL. But when you are in this bottom tier of the league, you have to set expectations to a reasonable standard. So like people that are like, oh, we have to make the playoffs to save everybody's job. That's just not realistic. So at least you're being realistic with your expectations, Julio. 7 wins. There's 7 winnable games on the schedule, in my opinion, especially, given the uncertainty of the week to week in the NFL. Obviously, week 1 lies to us, but let's get off to a hot start and keep it rolling from there. Don't get slobber knocked on the first match and then can't get up off the mat throughout that NFC North stretch, and then you're going into Cleveland barely with a win or no wins at all. Like that's just going to be the downfall of it.
100%. 100%. Let's just hope that they're ready to go for week 1, Dylan. When we get our first win and we build some momentum.
Yeah, let's freaking go, man. Can't wait. It's coming soon, man. It's already August 22nd, I think today is. So like
23rd.
23rd. Yeah, a week and a half left in August, and now we're right into September. We have that one weekend, Labor Day weekend, where you don't have NFL football. At least we get college football to satiate our starvation for the need to watch. But yeah, man, I'm excited. September 13th, I think, is the game, right? Like I cannot wait. And hopefully, like Julio said, we come out strong and we look like a competent team.
Amen. Dylan, where can people find more of your content?
Absolutely. Right here at the bottom, at Dylan Tereman on YouTube. Put out a video today checking in on the rookie draft picks as well as some UDFA types. We will have myself and Buffalo Jet Fan on the alternating stream Monday night on my channel. So come check us out live tomorrow, probably between 7 and 8 p.m. And hoping to reschedule with Robbie Sabo. He was sick last week and I was starting my new job. So trying to line up some cool guests here as we round out the preseason. But at Dylan Tereman on YouTube, give me a subscribe. We're inching closer to 2,100 subscribers. I really appreciate all you guys, most of you as maniacs that are giving me some great support. And as always, Jake, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Link is in the live chat and the description for the episode, so check it out. If you guys could go support Dylan, it would mean a whole lot. DT, we will talk soon, and let's go Jets, baby.
Hell yeah, dude. Talk soon.
Dylan Tereman, the DT Experience, with us there. I'm going to stay on for the remainder of calls. We also have the raffle for 4 prizes today. Make sure you enter. This is your last chance to win a Ken O'Brien signed helmet, Darrelle Revis signed football, and a Chad Pennington full-sized helmet. And anyone who enters during the show, there's a separate raffle for a David Bailey jersey or a Jets jersey of your choosing. You can choose Klubnik, Membu, Garrett, Brees. You pick, we send to you. Shout out to Tom NYC. He gifted a channel membership. Tom, we got you down for 1 in the raffle. And Marvelous 33. How about a 5 spot of gifted channel memberships? Let's go.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Give him a Woody hug. Marvelous, thank you. Marvelous using an Asmaniac super chat. 36 months he's been a channel member. Says having to sit through Beast will be worth it when I take home that Kenny O item. You're not a fan of Beast, Marvelous? Beast, what are your thoughts on Marvelous not enjoying your contributions to
You want the one-winged angel? You'll get the one-winged angel, the Kenny Omega way. It's called B Delete DD Elite. One-winged angel coming up. Goodbye.
Very dark in the attic. Put some lights on. No?
One-winged angel.
Yeah, you know, B, sometimes I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Thank you for whatever that was, Beast. By the way, here's the design of the shirt. Don't think I'm not stupid. It is currently in production right now. We're going to make it possible for all the Asmaniacs to purchase. So get ready. Our newest merch, inspired by the Beast. Shout out to Drake, who won a jersey on our show, on the postgame show. Drake already emailed me, and he picked the David Bailey jersey. So that has already been ordered for him. He's now on the raffle again for 2. Beast, where are these headshots you're selling? I'll take 3. Beast, you're going to make a lot of money at Beast Feast, it sounds like. A lot of people want signed headshots.
The alliance will be intact. Don't think we're coming with a force. Just remember, I'm like Paulie Dangerously, and I got the best men in the world to work with. Always remember, if half the alliance is not there, there's plenty more behind them. As they all say, you want to knock one down. There's plenty more coming its way, which means, boys.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That drop by Gary is going to be played a lot this football season, I suspect. Certainly will be played a lot. All right, more of your calls right now before we get to the raffle. Again, I want to shout out everyone who's tuned in. Make sure if you're new around here, you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And a reminder to join the Patreon, get access to all the perks like 25% off every item in the merch store, access to our private Discord, exclusive events before the general public, and just a great place to connect with some of your favorite Asmaniacs. More of your calls, ladies and gentlemen. We say hello now to a man that we call Mad Max.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about Jets, that boy, he's jamming, he's slamming, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
What's up, Asmaniacs? Can you guys hear me?
Oh, I hear you.
Oh, man. The Jets game against the Steelers, very dominant. Good thing we got a revenge. I kind of wish we did that with Tampa. You know, we got a revenge, but it was a good job of the Jets for getting our revenge. You know, Pittsburgh beat us, we won. We kicked them so bad. We beat them 17-0. But Arian Smith, I don't know why Gary is so obsessed with Arian Smith. He's done. If you get outplayed by a practice squad receiver, you're just done for. You could be obsessed with, my name is Sadiq, certified freak. 7 days a week, got a hernia freak. I'm obsessed with Sadiq, got a certified freak. And then for the preseason game on next Friday, the theme is domination. The Giants think, they're the dominant team. We run New York. But come on, Jake. We need to punch them so hard on defense, Jake. And then once we win this preseason game, we'll show them the most dominant team in New York for the football teams, Jake. What's your thoughts on that?
So you think the Jets beating the Giants in the preseason game next week will determine who's the most dominant team in New York football?
Yes, and it'll make us bragging rights for New York football. It'll
You
make
think
us
it'll give
good
us bragging rights?
Yeah, it'll give us bragging rights, Jake.
What if the Jets win 4 games in the regular season and the Giants win 9?
The Giants will be dominant, but Jake, we need to be better than the Giants this year. We need to be better, just not only in the preseason but in the regular season.
Doubled says, "Relax, bro. It's a preseason game."
I mean, it's just a theme. I mean, I know it's preseason, but it's always a theme. Doubled, I'm just giving you my theme of the game. Come on, it's domination. And where is
Swamp Ranger says that Mad Max has got his annual COVID booster. Is this true?
That's not true. Where is and then also it's not true. The 35 world belt.
Oh, here we go. Stop questioning Beast's world titles.
I mean, no one has 35 world belts.
He does. He has 35 world titles.
It's the most fake thing of all time. Honestly,
it can't be fake if it's real.
It's not real. It's AI.
It can't be fake if it's real.
I think Jake, you need to go back to reality. No one has 35 world belts.
Nobody but Beast.
Where's Beast? Because we need to get.
He has 35 world belts.
He does not. And then Gary. Is Gary on? I want to argue best.
No, Gary is not on. You don't get to choose. You get to argue with.
I can always. I mean, but where is Beast Breaker?
Beast is the champion. Lou B is correct.
Lou B. He is not. And also, Lou B, why did you leave that preseason game with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter with the Giants game? I left with 2 minutes. You think, I don't save for the entire game. Come on, Lou B. I saved for the entire Jets game.
Wow, you're calling out Lou B now, Mad Max.
I am.
You just want to pick fights with everyone.
I am calling out Lou B. He thinks I don't stay for the entire Jets game.
B says you're a parrot and a moron.
That's not true. He's just talking about himself. His daughter can't beat me in a fight, or he can't beat me in a fight.
Beast has plenty of world titles, Mad Max. 35 of them.
I mean, he can't beat me in a fight. This is how. Let me show Beast how it's really done.
Hey, Mad Max, I'll tell you what's going to happen here. Your days are done. You're headed to the hole, Mad Max. Swamp Ranger says, to the hole, crack boy. Ladies and gentlemen, Mad Max, we will see you later. And here to send your ass to the hole is the Beast.
Now look what you done, Mad Max. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had you cut you off and cast you out with the sodomites. Some time in here will make you feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give her 24 hours to think about it.
What's this tell you? Shame.
I mean, you do not really have fun.
Shame. 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 Shame on
Nobody
you.
has.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. You're a bad boy. You need to be punished. If I was the guy from Prom Child, I'd be like, boy, you don't want me to take this belt and give you something your old man never would have given you in your life.
Nobody has.
If I was your old man, I will whip your ass so bad that when I'm done with you, you're gonna be calling me sir. Is that clear, scumbag? And believe me, you can knock that stupid shit-eating grin off your face because in my house, you're going to learn pain whether you like it or not because I will make you a man, which means get your balls intact, little boy. Believe me, you're a little boy with a small little brain and small little rubles. Now, goodbye. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.
What a turn of events. Swamp Ranger sending Mad Max to the hole. Beast, would you like to say thank you to Swamp Ranger?
Swamp Ranger, how about we do this? Watch this. Thank you, Swamp Ranger. Now, back to the lair of the trenches of the pit.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a show this has been. Swamp Ranger in the raffle for 10. Drake says, Max, you need to go back to reality. Gunjo in the raffle for 4 says, Beast will have 36 belts once he breaks poor Max in half. Gunjo in the raffle for 4. Luby wanted to know if Max, do you agree to bowl Beast, yes or no? We asked Max the other day, and he was non-committal. We will see if we get the bowling challenge between Beast and Mad Max the day before Jets Dolphins, the day before Beast Feast on October 25th. All right, more of your calls plus the raffle. Open phone lines for anyone who wants in. We got a special guest that will join us. You guys are going to love this. But first, here's Brian Baldinger's film breakdown from Jets Steelers. Enjoy.
Look at the Jets' newly built defense. David Onyemata in here. Demario Davis. The Steelers are going to run power. They're going to pull their right guard and their tight end. All right, power play. But watch Harrison Phillips here defeat the choke block of Zach Frazier. All right, he sees it, reads it, and then he makes the play. All right, that's a good thing. Now, no matter what front you're in, odd man front, even front, every defense is a gap defense. Watch the Jets fill every gap right here. Dane Belton, Jamian Sherwood, Demario Davis. Watch them fill the gaps. No place for Rico Dowdle to go. A lot of green hats at the ball. That's a good start to trying to play better run defense. All right, another example right here. Like watch, again, it starts up front. All right, even David Bailey right here. Davis, Sherwood, Belton. Watch them attacking the line of scrimmage. This is a beautiful thing. Look at all those beautiful green hats right at the ball. That's how you stop the run. You get in the gaps, you get off blocks, you refuse to stay blocked, and you get everybody involved. David Bailey's first NFL sack. It's 3rd and 8 last night in the first quarter. Now on his third step, watch this third step. That step right there, that hop, and then the dip and the rip, and then he finishes it. He gets to Will Howard, and he gets him down on 3rd and 8. David Bailey's first NFL sack. Every Jet fan hopes that there's double digit of those coming this year and for many years after. Special talent, special player.
Yeah, baby. Bailey Bros, assemble. Cisco Lopez in the house. How about a $50 super chat for our guy Cisco? That is 10 raffle entries. Hit it.
Sometime I do super chat. Sometime I do give membership. But all the time I love the Jake Asman show. They call me Cisco Lopez.
Cisco in for 10. Cisco won a Kate Klubnik jersey on the show the other day. All right, couple calls. Then we spin the wheel champions 4 times. Football guy's next. Hello, football guy.
Hey, what's up, Jake? It's nice being on the show.
What's up, football guy?
Good. I just wanted to talk about David Bailey. I'm gonna be honest, man. In my personal opinion, I think David Bailey is gonna be probably one of our best pass rushers we've seen since probably since a while. Because I was going back through the 2015 team, and I was looking at Muhammad Wilkerson and Sheldon Richardson, and they were kind of very spontaneous. Like there would be one season where it was like 2-3 sacks, and then they would just pop, and it would be 12 sacks, and then it would be another season just like that. So, in my personal opinion, I think David Bailey might end up being one of our best pass rushers.
Well, he should, right? I mean, he's the second pick in the draft, so that's the expectation. When you take a guy that high, the expectation is that he's going to be one of the 5 best at his position in the league. Like he's that, and that's not putting an unfair expectation on him. He's the number 2 pick in the draft.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, I was kind of nervous about it because I called him before and I did say he was a good pick, but I can't lie when I said like I was a little bit shaky at the beginning because, like you said in your previous shows before the draft, you were like, if you draft Bailey, you know this is a save your job type of pick. But if you draft Arvell, like you have enough confidence to where you think you're gonna do good the next season. And yeah, that's why I was kind of iffy about that.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is I always like Bailey as a prospect. If the rationale for drafting him was, he'll be better in year 1 than Reese would be, learning how to be a full-time edge, that shouldn't be what the decision is based on. It should be take the best player. But like there's no doubt David Bailey's awesome. Like he's a prolific pass rusher. Other areas of his game clearly will improve and get worked on. I think he's been better against the run than what the narrative was about him to this point. So we'll see. But I have a lot of confidence that he's going to be a damn good player for this team.
Yeah, I thought he did pretty good against the Steelers, honestly. Now, then again, a lot of people were kind of trashing him. I seen in some Instagram posts. I forgot who posted it, but they're talking about how Daly had got his first sack, and all the comments were just like, "Oh, it's against the third stringers." Or I'm like, no, I think Broderick was a starter. Now I don't know how that looks now. I don't pay attention to the Steelers that much, like their starting lineup. But I mean, he was a starting last year, so I'm gonna assume he was a starter.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna be ready to roll, man. I'm excited to see what he does. And the Jets in Week 1 should have a pretty notable advantage on defensive line versus offensive line for Tennessee. If they're gonna win the game, the Jets defensive line needs to make Cam Ward's life miserable.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you that too. Compared to the Steelers, like secondary to Tennessee secondary, it's kind of night and day. Would you say the same? Like when it comes to them, because I mean, from what I saw, Geno Smith went 7 for 7, 6 for 6 on the opening drive, and went down on a pretty good, defensive team. I don't think Robert Saleh after year one will just be able to fix that secondary, but that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, it's more so like the fact that I just think the Jets have the advantage with their offensive line against their D line. And I think the Jets are the more talented team. They should beat the Titans. If they don't beat the Titans, I put it way more on our coaching staff than anything else. I think if you gave Saleh truth serum and said, would you rather have the Jet current roster or the one you have, he'd take the Jet roster. So I think the Jets have to win that game. I've called it a must win for months.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough if we lose that one. I'm just I'm gonna be crying. And Jake, I commented in earlier this week about asking to get into this stuff, and I'm kind of taking the steps forward now. I got the little mic. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm probably gonna get trouble in the comments, but I kind of took your advice and I'm kind of running with it now. So, do I sound good with this mic? I don't know.
You sound very good. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Sweet. Well, thanks for the call, Jake. I'll probably call in more now that I got a microphone. So
you look fantastic, football guy. I look forward to more of your calls.
All right, sweet. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, football guy.
Like, I just feel like he's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
We need Geno to lead us to a Week 1 victory, damn it. Here's a little thing I'll tell football guy. His mic wasn't even plugged into the StreamYard. But he still sounded good because he had good internet connection. But football guy, next time you call, go into your audio settings on StreamYard and see if that mic is a setting that you can click to. But that wireless mic just made him feel like he was talking really well. Made him feel good. You feel good, you call with confidence. You look good, you feel good, you become a great caller. That's how it works around here. So good job by football guy. Now imagine if he gets that mic connected, though. I'll tell you what. Ladies and gentlemen, last chance to call into the show. We're accepting raffle names for both the weekly and the daily. 4 of you are going to win prizes today. On the line right now is a legend in this community. We call him the Lane Train.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good. Hello, Dave.
Hey, Lane.
Hi. So, how do you feel about Minka Flex Patrick and
Minka Flex Patrick?
Newman? Yeah.
He's flexing on them folks.
And do you think like Newman, that's on the Jets, he did well or not?
Newman, that's on the Jets. I'm only familiar with really a Newman from Seinfeld.
Really? Be funny if he played on the Jets.
Is he a postal worker?
Yeah. Yes, Jerry. Yeah, like when he says yes, Jerry. So it's gonna be a tough game this coming Friday. I think. You see, don't get me wrong, but I think both New York teams are good. I think the Giants are it's gonna be a back and forth game. I think the Giants are gonna score like 7 points for the Giants, and then I think that the Jets are going to come back in the second quarter and make it 13-7. It's going to be one of those hard games. So, how do you feel about Cobb that the Jets have?
Corn on the cob?
No, the guy that what's his name? Cobb. His
Corn?
name is what's his name?
Corn on
The
cob?
No, the one number 15. That was no number 10.
Cade Klubnik?
Yeah, Cade Klubnik. Do you think that he'll do well going into this coming Friday when they
I'm
play
not
the
convinced he
game?
might actually play.
Why do you think? I mean, do you sit him then?
Maybe they want to be careful with him if he's their number 2. I think he should play.
Really? Yeah, and then on one of the weeks it's just all college football because I don't think that none of the teams play.
Do you think the Jets should start Corn on the cob at quarterback this week?
Maybe if they want to eat it, like if everybody wants to eat it. And I do like the Beast Breaker T-shirt. I would like to have one of those.
You want a Beast Breaker t-shirt?
Yeah, yeah, that one. Don't.
I'll tell you what, Lane. I'm gonna send you the first. I haven't made these publicly available yet, but you will get the first one as soon as I publish them to my website.
Oh, and the raffle. Maybe I would like to get a signed helmet or a number 31 jersey.
A David Bailey jersey?
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, I mean, like, I will try my hardest to meet you at one of the meetups for the football games during the winter.
What about during the fall?
Yeah, like probably during the fall, actually.
So it doesn't just have to be winter.
Yeah, and I love the Beast Breaker painting of him, like.
You want one for your house?
Yeah, it'd be funny. Yeah. Look at him. It looks like he's squishing his face.
That's a man's man right there, right, Lane?
Yeah, he's always upset though.
Yeah, he's got to take a chill pill every once in a while. He's got to learn from you. You're always very even keeled.
Yeah, he loves being in his basement 100 times.
Lou B says Lane is a Giants fan.
Thank you, Libby. So I'm gonna stick with Jets. Got to do good. I mean, they have to move the ball because if they don't, it's not gonna look good going into week 1 of the season in Tennessee, and then they play week 2, week 3, week 4, and then I think they're off on week 5. So they get
They play the Browns week 5.
Yeah, and they play the Browns. And I mean that's going to be a hard game, because you have Minsker and a lot of players probably gonna get, if not now, they probably are gonna get cut for 53 roster.
You think so?
Yeah, out of the training camp, and I mean, and Aaron was probably gonna have his, and I also liked the replays of the game last week that was shown with them getting the Steelers, and there was just no overturns.
Lane, are you ready for some exciting news?
What? Is there any more good news? Yep, I'm ready.
The t-shirt for Beast is officially in my merch store, and I just reserved one for you to get the first one.
Yeah. It's funny, like, when I had me as an anchorman on the shirt with me, like, drinking. Like, it's funny.
I remember that one. That was a great shirt.
I'll never forget my first time I called in.
Oh, we'll never forget. First
I
time you
wonder if
called
you
in.
have any of the videos when I first called in.
You want to see the first time you ever called in, Lanes?
Yep.
Stay with me. Hold on. Let me find this, folks. The first time the Lane Train ever called in was a call for the ages. And I recognize I get new listeners all the time. So some of you have seen this many times over the years. Some of you maybe never have. This was the first ever call from the Lane Train. Let's go to Lane, who's up next. Hello,
Hey.
Lane.
Oh. Hi.
Hello, Lane.
How is everything? Yes.
You're on the air, Lane.
Oh. Hello.
Hello, Lane.
Hi. So yeah, I'm happy about the way the Jets played today. And they moved the ball and they did great. Look, okay. I mean, I know it was raining out. Did you see the game?
No, I didn't watch it. What happened?
Well, they won. And the other team lost.
Lane, thank you. Come on, man. It can't be a real call. Lane, call back anytime, man. The Jets won today, by the way, folks. I don't know if you guys saw the game. God. Lane, this is for you. Cheers.
I had a lot more hair then. Losing this hair now.
We all did, Lane. We're all getting old.
Look how much hair I'm losing. I get spray
We're
or
getting
something.
old, Lane.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm almost 39 already, so that's why.
You look good for 39, Lane. You don't look a day over 15.
Yeah. So anyway, it's funny when Mad Max went into the inside of the hole.
Yeah. Yeah. He sent him there.
Yeah. And then the other one closed it with the beard and mustache. Yeah, that was who was that? Oh, it was who was that? Trying to
Gator.
think. Yeah. He doesn't really call that much anymore.
He's behind the scenes making the magic happen.
I don't know that I can't find Ricky New York's podcast.
Just type in Ricky New York.
And just put Ricky in New York. Okay, so thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure, Lane. I hope you have a great day, all right?
Yeah, okay, you too. Bye-bye. Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Lane Train, one of the greats. We have another all-time great on the line who is our closer today, and then we're going to get to the raffle. But first, just to show everyone that while Lane was on the air, we were working behind the scenes. If you go to my website right now, jakeasman.com, you hit the merch store tab, you'll see listed is the shirt, Beast Breaker, Don't Think I'm Not Stupid. And the Lane Train will get the first one, and Beast will get the second one, obviously. Legendary quote from a legendary Asmaniac. We have it available in all your sizes necessary. All the fat guy sizes. XL, 2X, 3X, 4X, 5X. If you're a Patreon member, use the code that you get for 25% off. So for those who have requested it, it is now a reality. Don't Think I'm Not Stupid shirts available now at jakeasman.com. So are the Pain snapbacks, dad caps, and t-shirts. I put another 20 on sale today because we sold out of the original 100 from last week. Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat from Genergy in the raffle for 2. I don't care that it was the preseason. We dog walked the Steelers in their house. Bailey is the best. Can't wait till week 1. LFG. Hey, preseason or not, Bailey looks like the real deal. So I'm with you. Can't wait for week 1. We're going to be in Nashville, and the Jets need to win that game. Period.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Period. Ladies and gentlemen, today's closer is on the line. He's a man that we call the King.
Jake, my brother, Jake, my brother. It's always good to see you on this fine Sunday, my brother. Hey, I just wanted to come by and say a few words because you know that shit got me excited, Jake. It got me excited. Oh, Jake, it got me excited. Did we so happen to see a glimpse of the superpower of Aaron Glenn? Did we see a superpower? Two picks, baby. It looked lovely. It looked sensational. Okay, baby, I love to see that. All right, takeaways and capitalizing on takeaways, man. You understand what I'm saying? I saw the offense move a little fluid. I think AD Mitchell, he's a beast, man. He's a monster. He was getting a lot of targets, and it was good to see that defensive line come together and wreak havoc in the backfield. You know, they had them boys flustered all night. I think our run game needs some work. I think we need to find some bigger, wider holes. Not that the offensive line wasn't doing their damn thing, but our running backs need to find the vision and start hitting them holes a little better. But other than that, man, you can't say much about what you're saying, man. That was a beautiful display of how we're supposed to win games and play football. It was beautiful. And, I'm loving all of the offseason banter and all of that. Mad Max and Beast and all of that. That's beautiful. But now it's time to get back to damn football. Because we look good. I don't give a damn what nobody say. When the pads get on, the Jets look good, baby. Okay? So let's get into this season. Let's get to week 1. Your boy already reserved for the pregame party. Okay? I'm reserved, baby.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Coming.
Yes, sir. Reserved, baby. I'm coming, and I'm coming. You heard? So, hey, man, y'all get ready for the Asmaniacs, man. Y'all get ready for week 1, baby. Hey, it's going to be an epic start to the season. And we're going to be proud of our boys because we know we got the talent and the resiliency to win. Okay? And y'all already know, baby, I'm so excited for this damn season, and I hope y'all are, baby, because you already know it's all about the JTS! JTS! JTS!
You have superpowers. You got to fly over there.
I think King Lowski is spot on. It's almost that time, baby. I'm pumped. You know, I've never met King Lowski in person. He's been calling the show for years. Second place finisher in Asmaniac Madness in 2025. We were supposed to meet in Vegas. It didn't work out. Can't wait, man. Can't wait to meet the King in Nashville. Sean in St. Augustine in the raffle for 2 says, we need some bigger, wider holes. King Lowski. I'll tell you what. Very well said. And true.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Sean, thank you. You're in for 2. Mariz B. 16 months. Mariz B's been a channel member. Thank you, Mariz B. Or Mars B. No lie, I wanted Reese over Bailey, but when we drafted Bailey, I was okay with it. Reese was the sexy pick. Bailey was the right pick. 80 might get 1,000 yards. Look, David Bailey's been great so far. So we should absolutely be encouraged. Reese has been awesome for the Giants too, but he's playing outside linebacker, so it's different. But Reese has been very, very good. I think both guys are going to be awesome. That was my take from the beginning, too. I preferred Reese for the upside swing, but I was never anti-Bailey, so I don't want to be lumped in with the anti-Bailey people. I'm not anti-Bailey. I was one of the first Jet fans to get his jersey, so I love David Bailey. Reese has been really good, too, though. I think they're both going to be awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready for the Asmaniac raffle? We have ourselves 4 prizes, including 1 full-size Chad Pennington helmet. It's going down, baby. So get ready, because we're going to spin the Wheel of Champions very, very shortly. Right now, though, here's what I want to do. I want to bring on our master of raffle ceremony, and we will head to the Wheel of Champions all together. So, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now to send us to the Wheel of Champions is this legend.
Ole! Tito Santana here, also known as El Matador. We ready for the Wheel of El Campeones. Amijas, los 30 Wheel of Campeones. We're going to get 4 winners today. Cuatro la uno winners. We ready at 4, 3, 2, 1. Arriba los más. Let's go there now.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Wheel of Champions is on the screen. All the names from this past week. All of them in one spot. Shuffle the names we shall. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new around here, you can only win 1 weekly raffle prize per raffle. However, since we're doing a separate raffle for the Bailey jersey after the weekly prizes, you can win twice if you enter during this live show here on a Sunday. So, here we go. Let's start with our first prize today. It is a signed helmet of one of the more underrated quarterbacks in Jet history. Ken O'Brien, signed helmet. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of our first prize today is Cisco Lopez. Congratulations to Cisco Lopez on winning our first Asmaniac raffle prize.
Sometime I do super chat. Sometime I do gift membership. But all the time I love the Jake Asman Show. They call me Cisco Lopez.
Congrats to Cisco. Are we ready for prize 2? It is a Darrell Revis signed football. Revis signed football prize number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, Wheel of Champions back up on the screen. I see Omar Ochoa just gifted after we've already started spinning. I will allow it, Omar. I will allow it. Omar Ochoa, I'm just going to throw you in there for 1. And we'll give you a chance to win the Bailey jersey, too, after we get done with the weekly. Here we go, Omar. Just added another entry. Good luck to Omar. Here we go. Revis autograph football. Weekly raffle winner 2 is Dylan Perez. Dylan Tereman was our guest. Dylan Perez is one of our raffle winners. Congratulations, Dylan. Shoot me an email with your name and address so we know where to send your Revis football to. Okay. We got one more prize in the weekly that is up for grabs, folks. That prize is a signed Chad Pennington full-sized helmet.
They're loving Chadwick Pennington in the Big Apple. Everyone but Eddie Robinson. Oh, my.
Who's going to win the Chadwick Pennington full-size helmet? Our final weekly winner is... Gotham Green Goblin. Gotham Green Goblin is the winner. Hit it again.
They're loving Chadwick Pennington in the Big Apple. Everyone but Eddie Robinson. Oh, my.
Yeah, baby. Congratulations to Gotham Green Goblin. Folks, we're not done just yet. We still have a raffle for a jersey for those of you who entered the Asmaniac raffle today. So, once again, we need to spin the wheel of champions. So we go back to our master of raffle ceremony to take us to where we need to go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Gorilla Monsoon here at Global Studio Headquarters, ready to go one more time. Girls, please bring in the wheel of champions for one more spin. We're going to do this. Count it down with me at 4, 3, 2, 1, and take it away!
Thanks, you communist douchebag. It's time for that daily Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Hasman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Yeah, baby. Here we go. All the names from today's show. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in live, who's entered for their chance to win. Again, this is for a David Bailey jersey, or you pick a Jet player you want a jersey in instead. Ladies and gentlemen, our final winner on our show, fourth and final winner, is Ralphie Rocks. Are you kidding me? Ralphie, let's go. Jets, Jets, Jets. Woo! Ralphie has done it again. Congrats, Ralphie. If you tell me the player you want, you'll be able to get that jersey in time to rock week 1 with all of us in Nashville, because I know Ralphie is going to be there. All right, that does it for me. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. Thank you to Dylan Tereman. Join the Patreon. 3 tickets left for Jets Dolphins in October. Lock in your spot. We restocked some Pain shirts and hats and snapback hats, so check that out. For those of you who reached out, who said they wanted more and couldn't buy because we sold out over the weekend, there's another 20 that are up there, so check it out. And again, make sure you like the video and you are subscribed to my channel. Congrats to our weekly raffle winners. Shoot me an email and we'll get you your prizes. You guys are the best. Let's go Jets. Positive vibes. And I'll play you guys out with a clip that needs to be played on a day like today. Sit back and enjoy. Bask in the glory of all of it. And as always, Jets, 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 Jets. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Frankie V hopping on to kick off another week.
I'll say this. I only worry about one person's penis, and that's mine. So everybody else's, I don't really care. But I'm sure there's plenty of guys out there that could use more than just a little illusion of more inches. But whatever.
Great point, Joe. You hit it right there. Now, they haven't come out and said it, but that's exactly what they're thinking right now.
Hey, Asmaniacs, make sure to hit the like button and keep on supporting the Jake Asman Show.
That's right, Beast. If you don't subscribe to Jake Asman Show, the Jets will never win another game. Go Jets!